Alright, so today we're going to dig into a real sticky issue in society. What's really behind poverty, like the root causes. So, poor people, where do they come from? And unemployed folks, what do you think they have too much of, and what are they missing? Is it just that they don't have anything, like they're lacking everything? Yeah, kinda. But they actually have plenty of something you might not think about. Time. Sounds weird maybe, but just chew on that for a sec. Now, if we see they've got all this time, and we push them to study, tell them to do good stuff, but they push back, should we still be trying to help them out? Straight up, the answer is probably not. Why's that? Let's look at the flip side when we try to help, but we're doing it all wrong. Take giving cash directly, for example. Seems like the fastest fix, but it can actually stir up trouble. Or we might think about building charity homes, what we call houses of gratitude. We build them a nice, new house, then basically yank them out of their old shack and plop them into this new place. But seriously, has their life really changed? The house is nicer, sure, but has their mindset shifted at all? Imagine you grab a beggar off the street and stick him in a mansion. Does that mean he's done with begging? Nah, not really. He just turns into a different kind of beggar, like a mansion beggar. His mindset is still a beggar's mindset, totally unchanged. The real deal here, the toughest part, isn't changing the outside stuff like the house, but re-educating their brains. Next up, let's talk about building bridges for the poor people. Is building bridges a good thing? Totally. I'm all for building bridges, actually think it's better than just handing out money, better than building houses even. But, like building houses, bridges only deal with stuff, with material things, not the mindset. It doesn't get to the core issue with education. To get a better picture, think about a slum. What kind of bad habits are super common in slums? Exactly, drinking. Young guys in the slum, after work, they all get together to drink. Picture a slum with 30 shacks, and in like 29 of them people are drinking every night. No money, still drinking. Buy booze on credit? Drinking. Sometimes just a green mango is enough to be a drinking snack. Then, we go and build this awesome bridge, a concrete bridge right into the slum. Meanwhile, the dad is still sitting there drinking, and the kid gets home. From school at 5 p.m., dad pulls out his wallet, fumbles around for maybe 10,000 dong, it's nothing, like 50 cents, and shoves it at his kid. Hey, go grab me a cheap bottle of booze. Little kid T mumbles, it's late, Dad, and it's kind of far now even with the bridge. What if I fall in the river? Dad barks back, you're full of it. We got a concrete bridge now. You going or what? See what I mean? Even with a bridge, people just use it to buy their drinks faster, not to get to work quicker. So don't jump to conclusions thinking building bridges is always a good thing. It might be better than just giving money, better than building houses. But if we really look deep down at the mindset, if education is missing, then all that material help is just pointless. Helping poor people is way more complicated than we think. So, what's the real, deep down cause of poverty? Turns out there are three main things. First off, laziness. Does laziness lead to being poor? Definitely. Laziness goes against willpower, against that inner drive. No willpower leads straight to laziness. Second thing, irresponsibility. Poor people are often not responsible when it comes to work or even their own lives. Irresponsibility means they're missing what? It's ethics. Like you learned in Right View, Class 1, life needs three roots: ethics, wisdom, and willpower. Third, wrong life views. Lack of wisdom gives you screwed up life views. A lot of people go to work just thinking about their paycheck. They think, you pay me $3 million, I'm doing exactly $3 million worth of work. Think that attitude's gonna get you fired. Yep. Or some people think, hey, my boss pays me $5 million, I'm only doing $5 million worth of work. Why bother doing more? Folks with that kind of thinking, sooner or later, they're gonna get the boot. How much they pay you is their business. The important thing is you gotta give it your all. Then, naturally, they'll bump up your pay. Or if they don't, you can move on to another place. Someone's gonna see your value and snatch you up. Boom, you get a raise. So, this whole, I'll only do what I'm paid for thing comes from bad life views, from just being clueless. That's exactly lack of wisdom, lack of ethics, lack of willpower. So, when we really get down to the root causes of poverty, it's all about missing ethics, wisdom, and willpower. Not just about being broke, not just about lacking stuff. So, to help them get out of poverty, what's the move? First, we gotta help them ditch the laziness, which means getting them to do good things. We gotta bake in good deeds into how we help them. Like, we could say, this time I'm gonna give you 500,000 dong, but only after you volunteer at Jakango Pagoda for 2 full days and nights. 2 days and nights of volunteering for 500,000 dong, is that a lot? Totally. For someone poor, that's a ton. But if they say, nah, I'd rather just chill at home and drink with some sour fruit, I don't need to volunteer anywhere. Should we help that family? Nah, we shouldn't. We gotta make good deeds part of the deal. Or we could say, hey, there's a charity trip to the next county, 3 days, 2 nights. You wanna come? Help carry stuff, hand out gifts. If they're supposed to get a charity house and we ask them to go do charity work and they bail, then we shouldn't build them a house. If they're too lazy to even do a couple days of volunteer work, that family doesn't deserve a 50 million dong charity house. We gotta get the real essence of the problem here. Next, to help them be less irresponsible, what's the play? Gotta help them be responsible for themselves first. And to get responsible, besides getting them to do good deeds, we also gotta get them learning something. To make them get what responsibility is, what ethics are, we gotta get them educated. For example, we could give them a comic book set about cause and effect and say, hey, check out these comics. They're easy to read. You and the kids can read them together. I'll be back in a month. If you can show me you get these 4 comics, can tell me a couple stories about great people in here, and if your kids can draw on the board and retell the stories to me, even if the drawings are rough, then your family gets a charity house. Education first, then house building. That's the way to go. Come back a month later, and those comics might be gone. Who knows where, maybe even used to wrap food or line the trash can in the bathroom. Ask them if they read it. They say, yeah, we did. Ask a few questions about the story, and they just stumble and stammer, didn't read squat. Then they say, we've been super busy. Dude, unemployed and busy doing what? Busy drinking, busy binge-watching soap operas, not busy learning, that's for sure. So, should that family get a charity house? Nope, no way. This happens a lot, like at least half the time, seriously. Say you're planning 10 charity houses, you throw this in and bam, it filters out 5 of them right away. Those 5 families won't do it. They'd rather be poor, be hungry, than learn a single thing. Because if they don't change what's inside, don't change their heads, don't change their hearts, even if you give them a charity house, they're still gonna be just as lazy, makes no difference. Gotta get this straight. About those wrong life views, we gotta teach them about cause and effect, get them listening to Dharma talks, to recalibrate their perspectives, Dharma talk speakers and cause and effect pictures are super useful tools. We could tell them, hey, you're still going to drink, still going to watch your TV dramas, but could you spend 2 hours a day listening to a couple Dharma talk sessions? And if they refuse to listen, should we help that family? Listening is how they get paid, and the payment is what? A charity house, a 50 million dong house. We ask them to listen for 2 months, just 1 session a day. That's only 60 sessions total, and they're still too lazy. How can you help them? 60 sessions for 50 million, dong. Expensive or cheap? Dirt cheap. 1 Dharma talk session, let's say it's an hour, even just 15 minutes. If they're too lazy for that to earn 50 million dong, then that family shouldn't get a charity house, shouldn't be helped. Just hand them a Dharma talk speaker. Say, here, I'm lending you this. Listen to it. I'll be back in exactly 60 days to check in. 60 days later, you show up, see the speaker, pop out the memory card, hit play, and hear Vietnamese opera, then game over. They wiped my card clean, loaded their own music on it, turn it on, and you know right away, it's not rocket science to check. This is a super easy way to see how serious they are. So, when they start doing good deeds, start learning, start working hard, getting stuff done, or start listening to Dharma talks, lectures by monks, then they can actually break free from poverty. Gotta change what's inside, their thinking, their life views. Then they can really escape poverty for good. Bottom line, helping poor people has gotta come with education. Now let me ask you guys something. Is helping poor people kinda like training new employees? You hire a new person, they don't know anything. You teach them, isn't it a pain? You're teaching, even buttering them up every which way, and you still gotta pay them, right? Base salary is still salary, whether it's 5 million or whatever. And sometimes, after just 2 months of training, they might even demand a raise. Helping poor people is basically the same as training employees, no difference at all. It's just we don't usually see it that way, so we think poor people are poor people, employees are employees. But I've looked at it closely, and those bad employees and companies are just like poor people, exactly the same. Guiding them is crazy hard, they're super lazy to learn, but when payday rolls around, they still expect their paycheck. Poor people are the same deal. Lazy to learn, lazy to work, but as soon as they spot a charity group, they jump out to beg real quick. Totally the same, no difference. So handouts gotta come with education. Education here means ethics, cause and effect, classes, or community projects. Gotta mix it all in. To really nail this down, let me give you an example from the Tzu Chi Foundation in Taiwan, an amazing charity organization. One time, when there was this huge hurricane in the US, they raised $6 million in just 2 months. Then, they took that $6 million over to the States to give out to people. They set up a base camp right in the hurricane-hit city and started handing out cash. Anyone from that city who showed up got an envelope with $200 in it. But their way of doing it was brilliant. Just handing out $200 is just giving stuff away, no education there. They put up this huge tent, set up a projector and speakers, and showed a video, like 10 minutes long. The video showed Tzu Chi volunteers going around begging for every single dollar on the street. Showed students standing at street corners in Taiwan and Hong Kong, asking for $5, $10. Showed old folks selling their old clothes to drop $10 in the donation box. Showed workers working overtime to get extra cash to donate. They made this really touching video, about 10 minutes, and showed it to the hurricane victims first. They said, "Okay, if you want to get your $200, please watch this video first, then come get your money." Tons of people cried after watching and then walked out and didn't take the money. They said, We're poor, but we're not as poor as those folks begging for money for them. Their conscience had kicked in. I call it waking up their shame nerve. They felt ashamed to beg for handouts, because really, even with their houses blown away, they still had insurance to cover it. But a lot of people's mentality is, I'm a hurricane victim, so any charity group that shows up, I'm gonna ask for help. As soon as they get here, I'm jumping out and asking, don't even care what it is. That's greed in action. Tzu Chi is so smart because they put education first, handouts come after. And tons of people thanked them after watching the video clip and didn't take the money. They said, use this money for someone who needs it more than me. Some people still took it because their families were really struggling. You see how amazing their method is. Just 10 minutes of education made a huge difference. It's awesome. Another story from a visit to a slum in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. Phnom Penh, you know, slums are all the same. Poor areas are always trashy. Rich neighborhoods are clean because they collect their trash, bag it up and toss it out, sometimes even dumping it in the slums. Just like rich countries ship their garbage to poorer countries. Same thing, right? The Tzu Chi Foundation pulled off this genius move. They showed up and posted this huge sign. It said, we'll be back in 30 days with 1,000 gift packages. Gift package might be like some snacks, a set of clothes, and a few bucks. But they wrote real clear underneath. To get a gift package, you gotta trade in 10 plastic bottles, cleaned and empty. 10 plastic bottles gets you one gift. Plastic cups, the trade is 50 clean cups, you know, those throwaway cups. They announced this, and exactly 30 days later, they rolled back in, truck loaded with 1,000 gift packages and a truck. On the truck, they unloaded a plastic press to chop up the plastic and press it into bricks for easy hauling. Then, 3 or 4 of their people stood there for a whole week, handing out over 1,000 gifts. The result? Within a 3-mile radius of the slum, not a single plastic bottle, not a single plastic cup left. Even kids were out there picking them all up. Isn't that doing good deeds before getting a gift? Isn't that education before getting a handout? You see how awesome handouts with education is? Tzu Chi Foundation is killing it. They've got so many tricks we gotta learn from. I'm a huge fan of models like this, just haven't had a chance to go visit them yet. Tzu Chi's hospital building idea is also something else. Every hospital floor with 100 rooms, they set aside one big room, like this one here, to be a spiritual chill-out room for patients. In the room, you've got meditation cushions, tea, water, Dharma talk speakers to listen to, educational movies playing, a mini library to read. Patients come there to chill out, sip tea, chat, listen to Dharma talks together. Lying in a hospital bed is just fixing the body, but you also got to deal with the mind. So, with poor folks, when you give them cash, you're just dealing with their physical needs. Has their mind been fixed? If their mindset stays the same, they're going to be right back in poverty before you know it. Doesn't get to the root of the problem. Another really smart move that Sister Chan Kong uses is giving charity houses, but homeowners gotta help build. A charity house worth 50 million dong, Sister Chan Kong figured out 25 million is labor, 25 million is materials. So, Sister rounds up 5 families needing charity houses, and each family kicks in one worker. Families that don't kick in a worker, no house for them. To get a house, they gotta put in work, help build houses for others first. Then 3 months later, they come back and she'll build for them. So Sister just gathers 5 to 10 families like that, and gets enough workers to build charity houses. A 50 million dong house. Now Sister cuts the cost down to just 25 million, And these folks gotta hustle for 3 solid months. While they're working, anyone with good attitude gets their house built sooner. Anyone with bad attitude, sister sends them packing. No house for them. Sister says bad attitude like that, even if they get a house, they'll just end up poor again. 'Cause with that attitude, no one's gonna hire them. Folks with good attitude, sister even helps them find jobs. So they grind for 3 months, no pay, just room and board. Month 4, they go home and get their own house built. So, isn't that 90 days of free labor, training a new habit? 90 days is plenty of time to build a new habit of working without being greedy, working with your whole heart. Forget that you pay me 3 million, I'll do 3 million worth of work. Crap. That attitude deserves to get you canned. But if you just go all in, then you'll naturally get a raise. Sister Chan Kong's method is awesome. Charity houses with education baked right in. 3 months of good deeds before they get a house. Same thing when giving clothes or 5 million dong savings accounts. I've got this friend, maybe 3 to 4 years back. He'd known me for a while, pretty well known online. Younger than me, 10 years younger maybe, always doing charity in Baria Vung Tau. Goes every year. Seeing him go so much, I asked, when you help out like that, do you ever track how it's going? Like, what's the outcome? This dude looked me up and down, probably thought I was trying to stop him from doing charity. I said, just track it, man. Do a follow-up next year. After 2 years, he called me up. When I answered, I could hear this engine noise and knew he was driving home in his car. He says, dude, I've been doing charity for 2 years. This is year 3 now. I'm calling because you told me if I ran into charity stuff that was tough, ask you, because you've been around the block longer. After 2 years, the number of poor families in that slum has gone up, man. When I first got there, 20 poor families. Now after 3 years of helping, it's 30 poor families. What the heck do I do now? I told him, you gotta help them twice, never just once. Help them in 2 phases. Phase 1, gotta go survey and give small gifts. Gifts, just little stuff. A bag of rice, a couple sets of clothes, little gifts, maybe 300,000 dong worth. Give 'em out. Then talk to each family about school and work, educate them, sit down and have a real talk with them. After that, start giving them some books. Adults get Tony Boy Sung. They can read that, right? Coffee with Tony. Super easy. Read. Kids get the Cause and Effect comics. 4 books. Adults get a Dharma Talk speaker. Tell them, here, I'm lending you this. Add, I already gave you gifts, bag of rice, and 2 sets of clothes, right? Keep going, I promise. In exactly 60 days, I'm giving you a 5 million dong savings account, but only if you listen to the Dharma Talk speaker every day. And if you get your kids to read these thin books. If your kids don't read and you don't bother listening, then in 60 days, I'm coming back for it. No savings account for you. The gifts I already gave you, clothes and rice, you keep, but no savings account. You know what happened? Totally amazing. Out of 20 families, 10 families just didn't read the books and didn't listen to the Dharma talks. They just accepted being poor forever. They just gave up. So this dude takes that money back, that 5 million dong, and takes it to another slum. So helping the right people and helping the right way is super effective. That's all the advice I gave him. So, after 60 days, he goes back to check on their learning and work ethic. Families that passed the test got a big gift of 5 million dong. Super simple way. Is this way twice as hard as the old way? Before, you go once, snap some Facebook pics, feel good, go home, done. And what happens to them after that, who cares? But now you gotta be like training employees, visit them, educate them, then show them how to read books, how to listen to Dharma talks, then 60 days later gotta go back again and keep checking up on them, just like training employees. Twice as hard, but 10 times more effective, not just twice. 'Cause families that pass, those families change big time. Their whole lives change. Huge difference. So, helping people gotta be smart, gotta take effort. Helping people needs wisdom, needs willpower. Kindness is great, but kindness needs brains, and kindness needs effort. That's what matters. Pre-hire challenges. At our two Duke schools, we've got this special pre-hire thing. We make folks listen to stuff about understanding the heart and listen to Dharma talks a ton. Listen till they're sick of it. Some people listen for 2 years before they get hired, can you believe it? Some listen for 6 months. They apply. Don't meet the cut, I give them homework. Listen to 50 more sessions. Listen, then come back and report. So 6 months later, they show up, say, I listened to it all. Ask a few questions, and they still seem fuzzy, didn't listen close enough. So they gotta go back and listen to another 100 sessions. Every time they check in and are still fuzzy, I double the number of sessions. Some people take 2 years just to get into two Duke schools, no joke, apply 3 or 4 times. But those people, they end up being rock solid, 'cause in those 2 years they've educated themselves. We just give them the tools, like a link on Facebook, link on our website. All my talks are there. They just dig in and listen, then they practice writing stuff down, taking notes. Then they hand in their notes to me. That's it. After 2 years, they're totally transformed, and it's crazy effective. Some folks get through it in just 3 months. This is what I call pre-hire challenges. As for the nail collecting challenge, forget that one, it's too quick to explain. Nail collecting challenge is a bit different. I make job applicants collect 1 kilogram of nails off the road before they get hired. And believe it or not, some folks actually pull it off. One applicant went from Saigon to Bien Hoa, and from Bien Hoa circled back to Taduk just to get 1 kilogram of nails. Asked him how he did it. He said, I grabbed a broom, stuck a magnet on it, then drove my scooter with the magnet tied behind. Went slow, and my buddy sat on back. He drove, and every few feet I hopped off, picked up nails and tossed them in a bag. Traveled over 25 miles to get 1 kilogram of nails. Nails are all over the highway. No picking up nails from trash piles, only highway nails allowed. What if they cheat? Ask them a few questions you'll know right away. Bin Phuoc intersection. If they say they went past Thu Duc intersection, and you ask, passing Thu Duc intersection, what did you see? If they stammer, you know they're lying. Passing the university area on that highway, nails there. Stammer, once. You know they're full of it. Cruising past Soi Tien theme park. Ask the right questions, and you nail them right away. This is what I call pre-hire challenges, like sandwiching education in before they get anything. Building bridges, how do we work in education there? That's tougher. How to build bridges for a whole slum and jam education in there? Think about it. Same deal with building schools. Say there's 3 or 4 slums with no schools, kids gotta travel 10 miles to school. Too far, you want to build them a little school. Building a school costs millions, right? So, how do you check it out? How do you sneak education in before building schools? There's a super simple way. Libraries first, schools later. Libraries first, bridges later. Library here is what? A bookshelf with 200 books, and a few USBs with dozens of educational movies loaded on them. 55-episode movie about Buddha. These 101 episodes of Monk Not Who. Hundreds of gifts of life vids online. Tons of good educational stuff. Dump it on a USB. Then donate a 32-inch TV to the slum, plug in the USB, and boom, they're watching. 32-inch TVs are cheap as chips. A bookshelf with 200 books, kids' books and grown-up books, 200's plenty. Then you stick it at the village elder's house, tell him, "Hey, you're the elder. Turn your house into a mini culture center for reading and watching educational movies for the kids." Add, "We'll be back in 3 months. Every month we're sending our people down, unannounced 3 times. If your house really becomes a mini culture spot for the whole slum, then this slum gets a bridge. If you can't make it happen, we're building a bridge for another slum instead." Super simple. If they really want it, they can do it right now. We got Zalo now, right? They can shoot a quick video of kids reading books and watching movies, happy as clams, upload it to me, easy peasy. And it's easy for me to send my people to spot check every now and then, super easy. Out of 10 slums like that, maybe 3 to 5 will make it work. Those slums get bridges first, the others get put on hold, built later. Education first, bridge building later. That's the ticket. You can do the same thing with building schools. Set up a mini library in the village elder's place or at some respected old-timer's house in the slum. Because if they don't have the mindset, even if you build a school, it's just going to be an empty shell. Kids won't want to learn. Building schools is so they learn, and to want to learn, you got to have libraries for them to learn, right? Good teachers are tough to find, but if you got a self-learning movement and a reading culture, that's number 1. Super simple way, not hard at all, okay? Yeah, that's basically the idea. It's like when you're getting 200 free bus tickets for Tet Holiday. Tet Holiday tickets. Sometimes you can get 20 million dong for 1 ticket, right? A bus ride from Saigon to Hanoi, 3 days, 2 nights. Do workers or poor students sign up fast? Posted on Facebook 3 days later, slammed. Everyone scrambling for free tickets. In that group, there might even be folks who aren't poor, but still apply, right? How do you weed them out? So, we got this real slick trick, super simple. What is it? I make it a rule that anyone who signs up for these tickets, those 3 days, 2 nights, are for listening to Dharma talks on the bus. Listen to them non-stop. Everyone getting on the bus gets a set of cause and effect comics. Gotta read them serious for the 3 days, 2 nights. And the person riding along is one of our people. They gotta ask everyone if they're reading and listening. If they promise to read and listen seriously, then they get to go. That's it. So, they read and listen for real. And even if some of them aren't really poor, their shame nerve after 3 days kind of kicks back in. Next year they naturally won't sign up again, they'll make room for someone who's poorer. They've got their pride, their conscience. Hit their conscience and they change right away. That's a simple trick, okay? Not as hard as you'd think. That's basically the whole deal.